What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday afternoon. Figured I'd come on, check in on everybody. Woke up this morning to Spirit Airlines out of business. Knew that was coming. Didn't think that they'd be able to negotiate with this administration. A bailout. 17,000 jobs down the drain. They're, of course, trying to deflect and blame Republicans, but it has a lot to do with fuel prices and the war in Iran. So that's 17,000 jobs gone in the blink of an eye. By the way, Spirit, pretty safe airline, affordable airline. Americans are in an affordability crisis. Not good. But, of course, they'll deflect and pretend as it's no big deal. Also, the United States is withdrawing 5,000 troops from Germany because the chancellor was critical of the war with Iran. It's all breaking apart. The Pentagon said on Friday that the United States will be withdrawing roughly 5,000 troops from Germany over the next year. This is just a reaction to criticism from the chancellor. This is a direct quote from the Pentagon. The Secretary of War has ordered the withdrawal of approximately 5,000 troops from Germany. The decision follows a thorough review of the department's force posture in Europe and is in recognition of theater requirements and conditions on the ground. We expect the withdrawal to be completed over the next 6 to 12 months. That's basically what we're looking at for today. Nothing good, of course. There's never a day with anything good. How's your Sunday going? Fine and dandy, cotton candy. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel and the content. Appreciate you. Andy, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much. Thank you to both of you. I appreciate it. Let me pull up Google Voice here just in case someone does call in. I know it's a really weird time I'm going live right now. An odd time, not a normal time, but I'm live, so fuck it. You know, kind of trying to take it a little bit easier this weekend. You know, I've basically been streaming for 2 months straight without a break. So, actually more than that, but, you know. What do you mean you work on Sunday? Alicia, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Alicia. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in. 908-652-3703. Yeah, are we great yet? That was my first thought when I woke up this morning. But then I went to Donald Trump's Truth Social to see if he had made any statements about it. And do you know what I see? I see Donald Trump posting AI slop photographs of him in the reflection pool. I mean, the guy is sick. And he really, it's disturbing, dude. I don't know if you guys saw the picture. Oh, I said it was Sunday. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's Saturday. Alicia, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia. Appreciate it. Kosher Dill, thank you for the $5 super chat. Been a while. Took a break for mental health reasons. I'm checking in. Hey, Kosher Dill, how are you? Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Things have been crazy over here. So, we've been debating like hell over here every single day. So, things are starting to pick up. You guys didn't see the pic? I'll pull it up for you. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. For those of you that haven't seen it. It's sick. This isn't me posting this. This is him posting this. Remember that as I bring this up here. This is not me by any means. By the way, we also have some new things coming this week. Something I'm working on. People have been I haven't released a shirt in a long time. People have been asking me for a shirt. So I am trying to get that process rolling, the ball rolling on that. I can just tell you they're going to be very limited. I'm not doing like a permanent thing. So it's a really good idea. It's going to be obviously awesome. All the shirts the few that I've ever released were all really good. I don't release them unless they're good. So expect one soon. But they're going to go quick. The other ones sold out. Last time I did it, they sold out so quick. I couldn't even do it. It sold out so quickly. Vicky, thank you so much, Vicky. Appreciate you, Vicky. All right, look. Here's the photograph, everybody. Here's the photograph. I am not kidding. Somebody tell me why little Marco is in the middle. Someone tell me why little Marco is in the middle. I need every single person to give me their opinion. Guys, Jack and Coke is really jealous that people are sending super chats. He's blaming mental health reasons for people sending me super chats. So make sure you send super chats on behalf of Jack and Coke. Can we complete the gifting goal on behalf of this jealous chud in the chat who literally is in my live minutes after I go live, minutes after I'm live, and they're in here, which means they are an obsessed fan. Let's make them jealous and support the channel. This is a photo that Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social. This is a photo Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social in the middle of the night as Spirit Airlines was going out of business. Yikes. Jack and Coke is a jealous little muppet. Jack and Coke, what's it like to be so jealous of someone that you're like, you follow them around, you wait till they're live, like you cry about people super chatting. Like, you imagine being that much of a jealous cuck? Like, that's just such a waste of life. No, this is an AI photo, but yes, they actually posted it. Una, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Jack and Coke's gonna have to get through it. Oh, look, he came in on another account. Bro, you're on another account. Oh my God, now he's crying. I'm not even subbing to you. I'm scrolling through lives. You're not that important, I swear to God. We don't care if you want to rant, proceed. I'm out. They come in an account. Trump Bunny 24. We're not even following you. Swear to God, we're not following you. I swear to God, I don't care about you, Adam. I swear to God. It may look like that, but I don't. I'm leaving now. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
How old are you? Oh, that's that fucking troll. Stop calling in here. You're a stalker. Una, thank you so much, Una. Appreciate you, Una. I was about to say, yeah, no, it's not real. I mean, I think JD Vance should be in the middle, but, you know, that's just my personal opinion. Does anyone know who the woman is? No. I don't know who the woman is. Who is the woman in the picture? Just Caitlin. Thank you so much, Just Caitlin. I can imagine him squirming in his chair right now. Oh, God. The life of people that spend their entire existence stalking creators on the internet. It's just pathetic. Happy to see you too, CCP. Johnny, if you think he's the GOAT, give a call in, Johnny. Give a call in, Johnny, if you think he's a GOAT. Oh, God, I have to block this fucking number. Behind Rubio? I guess I wanted to assume that was Howard Lutnick at a first glance. I don't know. Tia, thank you so much, Tia. Appreciate you, Tia. Tia, thank you so much. Guys, Kurt says, let's just pin this comment. We got some triggered MAGAs in here. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703. Did you see? Wow, man, you should have kept that up. If I pin a comment, don't delete it, all right? If I pin it, leave it up because I want it to be shown. You anti-Trump people are so tyrant. Imagine how we think about you. Imagine how we feel about you, Rudy the boxer. Imagine how we fucking feel about you. Imagine having to wake up every day in a country run by incompetents. People who defend S offenders and PDF files. Yeah, imagine how we feel. Imagine the audacity of a Trump supporter right now saying that anti-Republican, anti-Trump people are tiring. Can you imagine saying that to someone right now? With the Epstein files and the wars and all the bullshit. Can you imagine saying we're the tiring ones? Bro, you voted for a PDF file. It doesn't get any worse than that. Okay? Is who the president? Again, if you have questions, call in. There's a phone number there to call. You can call in 908-652-3703. The only person we've had call so far is the stalker. Are you guys crying about Clinton? Well, Clinton's not the president, so why the hell would I care about Bill Clinton? Couldn't care less about Bill Clinton. Why would I care about Bill Clinton? He's zero effect. Zero. Biden wasn't and Obama wasn't. Neither of them were in the Epstein files, but your president was. There's a distinct difference. Because they can't explain. That's why. It's impossible. Cannot be accomplished. No, the president absolutely has an impact on how the country is run. Okay? Just stop wasting my time. Rudy, we're gonna mute you now because you're just too irrelevant to even be speaking in the chat, okay? And you're also a PDF file, so you're muted, okay? Yes, they're bringing up Bill Clinton. They're whataboutism to Bill Clinton. Kind of like when I asked that dude, one of the last callers I got on TikTok before I signed off for the day was this guy who called in and said, we were talking about Trump's clear cognitive decline, right? He says, what about Biden? We're talking about Trump falling asleep in cabinet meetings. He says, what about Biden? You are bewitched. This is a hilarious comment, but let me thank Jesse first. First of all, Right Plight, this is an image Donald Trump posted. This isn't an image of mine. Donald Trump posted this image below me on his Truth Social last night. In the reflection pool. Not kidding. Swear to God. Jesse B, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Saturday, Adam in chat. If you aren't MAGA, exactly. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, no one said that. We'll just keep ignoring you. What Dr. Phil shit? What Dr. Phil shit? Of course you believe that. Of course I imagine you do love him. Listen, the fact that you love a politician is weird enough. Oh my God, guys.
Look, law enforcement of Somerville YouTube channels in here. What are we going to do? Making false or misleading statements. Will you shut up? The only thing worse than a cop is someone who pretends to be a cop. What are you, 12 years old? Someone's literally in the chat pretending to be a police officer. If you speak badly about Donald Trump one more time, I'm gonna arrest you. You're going to jail. You're gonna get life.
Yeah, I think he's a horrible president. I think he's worse than bad. Call in and I'll explain it. Illusion, thank you so much. Yes, that's what they always say. By the way, where are you from and how much are you paying in gas right now? Where are you from and how much are you paying in gas right now? Tell me where you're from and how much right now you're paying in gas. Of course you do, Salad, because you have no idea what you're talking about. But you're welcome to call in and we can discuss it, or you can keep hiding. Tell me where you are and what you paid in gas. We had the single largest leap in the last 6 weeks yesterday. 30 cents. I know, I want them to. Bro, you are bewitched. You do realize that Republicans, the current state of the Republican Party does not support the Second Amendment, right? I mean, I'm perfectly willing to get into that with you if you'd like to have a discussion. I am a Second Amendment supporter. Republicans do not support the Second Amendment by any means. Do you realize they just got done supporting an individual who was executed in the street in Minnesota named Alex Preddy? Was executed by federal agents in the streets of Minnesota. And what did Republicans do? He was disarmed and executed, by the way. Disarmed and executed, relative to the Second Amendment, obviously. And when they were called out for violating his Second Amendment right, what did they do? They said he shouldn't have been carrying at a protest. Even the NRA spoke up against that. The NRA. So, yeah, I could tell you, Republicans don't support the Second Amendment. I can give you other reasons, too. Donald Trump advocates for taking firearms before due process. It's in violation of your Second Amendment right. I'm talking about even worse than, even more than red flag laws, which I support. He supports taking firearms without any due process, without any judge signing an order. Oh, my God. Foxbox, that statement doesn't get any worse. Bro, support the fake cop in the chat. I love that there was a guy literally saying he was a cop in the chat.
I'm Somerville law enforcement, and I'm going to come and arrest you.
Trump has flirted with banning guns multiple times on videos. Facts. That's what I was going to play. I was just going to literally play that clip. It's the easiest way to defeat this idea that he's defending the Second Amendment. He doesn't care about the Second Amendment. They probably will come for our guns at some point, to be completely honest. So, I thought that guy was saying John Fetterman there for a second. I was like, I just saw the first ever John Fetterman supporter. That troglodyte. Switch up and have a private debate with yourself as devil's advocate. I mean, I could do that, but it's just... Kosher, thank you so much, Kosher. Gas prices starting to make me question mowing my lawn. Being a disabled vet on fixed income today made me realize how much the Conservative Party never cared about vets except pandering for votes. I agree with that, Kosher. Listen, it's a harsh reality, but they definitely do not. Especially Donald Trump in particular. The only person with a brain in the administration is Marco Rubio, and he just lacks a true backbone. Guy, I can prove to you Donald Trump doesn't have any respect for the Second Amendment. It's a pretty easy thing to prove. Pretty easy thing to prove. That's why I have a number there. Let's have a conversation about it. Oh, is that who that is, Baxter? Okay. Well, Baxter just laid out who's in the photograph there. Thank you, AZ Baxter. Appreciate you. So Baxter just laid out who's in the photograph, if you guys are wondering there. So, yeah, if you look up. Who cares about... What do you mean January 6th happened 6 years ago? Are we supposed to forget it or something? My entire neighborhood is not mowed yet. Listen. Depressing. They expect us to believe in the American dream. You can't even mow your fucking lawn. How do you feel about Fetterman? I think he's a complete asshole. I think he stands for absolutely nothing. I think he's a fraud, an opportunist. I think that he lied about being a progressive to get votes. I call him at least once a week. I call his office at least once a week. What politicians do you think are actually good? I mean, what do you mean by good? I mean, like, good is, I don't know. I have a lot of problems with most politicians, but there are some better than others. Good, I don't know about good. I have a very hard time trusting politicians these days. I would love to just revamp, overhaul the entire system. It's completely filled with creeps, PDF files, fucking fraudsters, scam artists who don't give a shit about the American people, and I'm tired of it. Maria, I've done more in the last 6 months than you've done in your life. Okay? Maybe you should check out my content, look it up, and find out.
Adam still supports Eric Swalwell.
Yeah, good one. You're projecting because you voted for Donald Trump, who's a PDF file. The difference is I told Eric Swalwell to step down immediately. You see the distinct difference? That's the distinct difference. What do you think about the LA mayor race? I haven't been following it that close. I mean, I understand the stuff with Pratt and all this stuff. I just haven't been following it close enough to really say. No, I could guarantee you most politicians don't actually care about the American people. Most don't care about the American people. That doesn't mean there's not politicians that are good. That doesn't mean there's, good in the sense that they're trying. It's just very few in comparison to the amount of people who are completely corrupted. The amount of politicians who are completely corrupted far outweigh the few politicians who I think have good intentions. And I think when you have good intentions, you tend to get flushed out. Even if you get lucky enough to get elected, you get flushed out pretty quick. Yeah, Eric Swalwell was a S offender. He's inappropriate with women. He doesn't respect consent. That's all there is to it. So he needed to leave immediately. God, this person just keeps spamming, "We must support Israel." It's just cringing me the fuck out. That's what our country's full of now. We must support Israel. We're in here having a conversation about like how fucking bad the state of our country right now, and this fucking person just keeps typing, "We support Israel, Trump 2028." You realize how cringe that is? You're everything wrong with this country. Like, literally everything wrong with this country. I wish you would go away. Bro, what the fuck? Look what they just wrote. That's very typical of a Trump supporter. All right, if you think he's doing it for the country, call in, English. Let's have a conversation about it. Because I would argue it's the exact opposite. It's not difficult to prove. The facts are there. The war made no sense from the very beginning. I don't give a shit about his promises. That's not something I care about because I knew that he was full of shit long before he ran. I never voted for Trump. Always thought he was bad. I've spent a lot of time trying to convince people that for years. But, you know. I get the Pratt point, but he's just another reality TV show. I'm not interested in Pratt. I don't know his platform enough to comment on it, though. All I can tell you is when I see guys like Joe Rogan start endorsing candidates, I immediately think there's something wrong. Because Joe Rogan is a complete chud. A complete chud. You are bewitched. I'm just going to mute you if you keep spamming without calling in. You clearly love your Second Amendment right. I will dismantle your argument so fucking quick your head will spin. So call in and let's have a conversation about your Second Amendment rights. I'm a 2A supporter. What should we do about the problem with school shootings? If it's not more gun regulations, not bans with better background checks, more regulations about keeping locks up. That's correct, our homeboy Gusso. It has to do with safe storage laws. It has to do with closing loopholes in pre-existing laws, such as the Charleston loophole. You need to ensure that it takes 10 days between the time of purchase and receiving the firearm. I think that buyback programs can be extremely useful in this case. We need to incentivize people who store firearms unsafely in their property, in their closets and things, to, turn them in if they're not using them. So I would say those are a couple things you could do immediately. Close existing loopholes, incentivize buyback, safe storage laws. Safe storage laws would be a major help. Yeah, if you support Donald Trump, you definitely support a PDF, HR. I don't know what to tell you. It's a fact. Yeah, Elon's terrible. Elon is absolutely terrible. The final season of the USA is wild, agreed. I can't stand Elon. No, this guy's just spouting like 2A talking points that I can easily dismantle, and Donald Trump doesn't support the Second Amendment, so the conversation will be over in 2 minutes. I can prove he doesn't. It's not difficult to prove. All right, let's see. We got a couple of people calling in here. One of them is just that stalker, but let's see if we can let's call this person back first.
What's up, brother?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
No.
All right, well, I'm looking to speak to Trump supporters.
No. Can I say something, though?
Yeah, just calm down. What's up?
I'll be cool. Let me tell you something, brother. I live in New York State. Everything is high here. The gas is up. I went to put gas in my car today, almost $5 a gallon. MAGA got played. They don't understand it. They are in denial, my brother. All those people that are talking, chat, they are algorithms. They're bots. You know what I'm saying? The MAGA got played, my brother. They don't understand. He played them.
Yes, they definitely got
He
played.
played them. Trump played them, bro. He's a felon. He ran to avoid prison. That's why he ran for office. See, they don't read between the lines. He played them, man. Harris was a threat. She was a threat. A black woman in this country is a threat to a white man.
Oh, that's a
Believe
major
me.
reason why people didn't vote for 100%. They can act like that's a surface level lukewarm take, but that is an undeniable truth that there are tons. All you have to do is pay attention to the rhetoric, right? Word
Right.
salad, not smart enough, not because that's
No
typically how
IQ.
that's how they view black women as a whole, and
Because
so
they're racist, bro.
yeah, so
They took this country back to the 60s. You cannot see in Rochester, we don't have what those people have in the South. No problem. We go vote. We don't have to show no ID. We go to those polls, my brother, and we go like June come next month, primaries or whatever they call them, early voting. We go vote. We don't have no issue. I wish somebody might come up to me and tell me I can't who I want to vote for. They don't do that here. See, social media is not real, my brother. It's not real. It's fake. YouTube is fake. Facebook is fake. I
all
got so
right,
many
brother.
pages.
Thanks for calling in, bro. Appreciate
God
you.
bless you.
Take care.
President Obama.
All right, bro. President Obama, he says. That was funny. What's up? You called?
Oh, yeah, you're that guy from the show?
Yeah. Are you a Trump supporter?
Hell yeah.
What's going on? You agree with
What?
the war in Iran?
Yeah, I mean, his promises kept, no new wars, but that's like an Israeli kind of war, so that's not really new.
Oh, guy, wait a second. Please, you're not going to try and sell that to people, are you?
We've been in desert wars for like 30 years,
So
brother.
wait, you're going to say because Israel has had a problem with Iran forever that it's not technically a new war?
No, I mean, we've been fighting wars for like 20, 30 years for Israel. It's not a new one.
This is, in fact, a new war.
It's just another scuttle in the sand pit.
It's not a scuttle. So why are we there? Let's talk about it.
For Israel.
No, but what is the administration saying the objectives of the conflict are? Because we have to break down why we're there and weigh positives versus negatives. You know, what are the benefits, right? What are the negatives here?
Have you ever read any of Alfred T. Mahan's works?
No.
Mm.
Can you answer my question?
I don't know.
So you don't know why?
I don't
we're
really
there.
care, though, man. A lot of Americans don't really
Hold
care.
on.
We just, pay the taxes
What are
and
you
go
talking about? A lot
the
of
day.
Americans don't care. Have you read the polling on this? Americans are furious about this. But here's the issue, dude. You support it, and you can't even tell me why we're there, right? I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just saying that's a problem.
I'm just saying it's not new, man. You gonna tell me
It is.
little scuffle out there is new?
Yeah, it is. This is. With Iran, yes, it is. Well, I mean, besides the fact that we conducted military strikes in 2025, in the summer of 2025, targeted towards destroying their enrichment facilities and their nuclear technology, right? And then claimed that it was a primary objective months later in this war. So, yeah, other than that, it is. So here's what they're saying. It's about nuclear weapons. That's what they're saying, okay? That is why they're saying this is worth it. He's been asked multiple times. American citizens have to pay $4+ a gallon for fuel, and they're going through this affordability crisis, and they're suffering. What do you have to say to the American people? And he says, well, it's worth it to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. You should know that if you support it. If you support the war, you should be like, yeah, because they have nuclear weapons or they're about to have nuclear weapons and we don't want them to have them. The fact that you
I mean,
don't
I
know
figured
that
it
means
was
you're
worth
just a
it for
bootlicker.
Israel, though.
Well, it is, but that's what I would say, right? In terms of it's not actually about that, right? It's about something else.
Well, no, that's what everybody knows. Like nobody, like some people, like
So you
those are
support a
chosen
war.
people.
So you support a war that the president is lying to you about what the objective is?
It's been like that since World War II, brother.
Do you support that? Yes or no?
Well, I voted for the guy, but I don't support it.
So you don't support it now. 5 minutes ago, you said you supported it. Now we're going to...
Oh, I understand it. I said he kept his promise. It's not a new war. It's just another desert
It is
war.
a new war. What are you talking about? This is such a ridiculous argument. Of course it's a new war. Can you stop? You need to... at some point, you're going to have to accept reality that you were fooled. You can do all
Brother, the
these
reality is he's keeping our women and children safe from, transgenders and whatever
Really, he's
like,
keeping
kind of
our
stuff
women
the
and
radical
children
left
safe.
got out here.
He's keeping our women and children safe. Let's talk. Can you tell me why the Department of Justice is refusing to release the Epstein files so people can be held accountable?
Well, it's like Bondi said, if we do that, the whole system, collapses. Nobody wants that.
So Bondi
Like,
was
you think
Bondi's
cutting social
gone.
welfare and stuff's bad? Like, what if we just crack out, like, yeah, all the rich people are pedophiles and, they like young women and shit? Like, hell, we all knew that. We've known that for decades.
Cool. So let's expose them. Why are we protecting them? You're supporting protecting them?
They're above us. Like, the whole system will go down if we do something about it.
So you're admitting, right, that you are okay with protecting PDF files?
Oh, no, I never said that.
You're admitting that the Department of Justice is obstructing justice.
I'm just saying that's how it is. It's like how when a pedophile's in the Mormon church, they cover
So
that
guys,
shit
this guy's entire argument is that's how it is. As long as he
that's
continues
just how it is, man.
my
If
bigoted,
you got money, you can break the law in America.
My bigoted agenda, then that's all that really matters. As long as I can target 1% of the population that is transgender, then I really don't care if he's screwing me over, lying to me, or protecting PDF files. But doesn't that prove the point, folks? This guy just said at least he's protecting our children, and then simultaneously says he's okay with the fact that we're protecting PDF files. Have a good day. Jesus Christ. I mean, you can fall pretty far. That's the farthest I've ever seen someone fall, I think. Just accepting it and supporting it. At least try and make a case. That guy just straight up was like, yeah, he's protecting PDF files. But you know what? He's going after the transgender community. So that's all that matters. What? Oh, God. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. You couldn't make this shit up if you tried. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703. Well, I bet you he would tell you he's a Christian, but I'm not going to put words in his mouth. If you're wondering what this photo is below me, by the way, I'm not posting this photo. Trump posted this photo. He posted this photo on Truth Social in the middle of the night last night. Spirit Airlines went out of business, 17,000 jobs gone. And I went to go check his Truth Social because I'm like, well, let me see what Trump said about this, because he's obviously going to make some excuse why they couldn't negotiate some kind of bailout. And I see a picture of little Marco in a circle with the administration. Sick.
Call from.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What are you about to do? I don't trust you. I can literally hear it in your voice. You're about to say something stupid. It's not even worth my time. 908-652-3703. If you're laughing before you even speak, I know where it's going, my guy. This guy's still talking about the Second Amendment in chat, folks. This You Are Bewitched person. Because guns are coming out from out of state and they have all kinds of ways to get a gun. Dude, who are you talking to? I've told you to call in 500 times. What the fuck? Bro just keeps repeating the same thing over and over again. Well, yeah, it's AI. It's AI. Someone said that the person in that was like that was Brooke Rollins, I think they said, Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. That's what they said. It was like Brooke Rollins, Department of Agriculture or something like that. Bring him over on this side. Right here. Don't go behind me. Go here.
Call from
What's going on? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Do you support the war in Iran?
I do.
Okay. Tell me why. Here you go. You can have 5. Go ahead.
Why?
No, I'm talking to someone else. I was talking to someone else. Go ahead. What's up? What's your take?
Are you still talking to somebody
I'm talking
else?
to you, bro. What's up? What's your take?
Oh. Yeah, I said I still do. For many reasons. I don't know where to start, but I think that the people over there deserve better. I think that we are in this for the long haul. Like in terms of the economy wise,
Mm-hmm.
we are in it. And then I think he knows. I think he knows where he's going with this. And I think right now I see the gas is kind of high, and it's not his fault. It's obviously is the Iranian regimes, them refusing to open up the strait. So I think he knows what he's doing, and if we give him time and we stand up for him, we will accomplish very great success for the U.S.
Sure. So let me address those 2 points. So first of all, you said you think the Iranian people deserve better. Liberation is not an objective of this war. If liberation was an objective of this war, then guess what? Regime change would have to be a part of the equation. Donald Trump is claiming regime change already occurred, right? But we know it hasn't because the son of the Ayatollah is currently in charge. He's 30 years younger, and he's an IRGC hardliner. It's likely he's going to be worse to the Persian people than the previous Ayatollah. So you've just made the situation worse for them, and regime change is not a part of any future plans. Once Donald Trump discovered that regime change was impossible because of how decentralized the IRGC is and how multi-layered the Iranian government is, he just declared victory like he always does when he can't accomplish a specific goal. The second thing you said was, I think because Iran is closing the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz was a retaliatory action by Iran. It was not something that was happening prior to the war. That's a reaction to conducting the decapitation strikes. Otherwise, the Strait of Hormuz would still be open. That's simply a weapon being used by Iran, right? And by the way, the U.S. currently has a blockade over the Strait of Hormuz. By the way, the U.S. has a blockade over the Strait of Hormuz right now.
Yeah, I think the reason why we are kind of doing that is to kind of force them to we're serious. We're trying to make a deal. We're trying to get them to the table, and we want to figure something out quick. Because I'm worried for where the country is gonna go if this continues to go on, and we gotta figure something out.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is that the consequences you're speaking of are a reaction to the decapitation strikes by Iran. That's how the IRGC is responding. That's how they're punishing the United States. See, the IRGC operates in what's called the Mosaic Doctrine, which is to now understanding you can't defeat the United States head-to-head because you don't have the same in military assets, to extend the war as long as possible and punish us economically, and then ultimately politically as a result of those economic consequences that the American citizens, the American taxpayers pay for, right? Like at the gas pump, for instance. That's a direct result of what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah. I do understand that that's one of the consequences, and that's why I'm not too worried. I'm not really losing sleep because of this. Because
okay, but you didn't address the point about your original point was that the goal was liberation. Is liberation possible without regime change?
No. That's why we took out half of their leaders, and half of their
Has
army.
regime
So,
change occurred? Yes or no?
no. The guy.
Did Donald
I
Trump
think
say
he's still
regime
away.
change is an objective anymore?
Regime change. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Regime change
Donald
is.
Trump has said multiple times regime change is not an objective. In fact, he just said the other day he doesn't even want regime change anymore, and then he followed it up by saying, because I already accomplished it. He's declaring victory, saying he already accomplished regime change. If he already accomplished it, clearly it's not an objective, and we both know it hasn't already occurred.
Well, let me ask you this then. You say that he says, you said that he said that it's been accomplished. So wait, if regime change has been accomplished, then my question to you is, why are we, in this war still?
Exactly. You're walking right into the point because of the Strait of Hormuz. I tried to explain this to you that the system in Iran, right, the theocratic Islamic Republic is built as an institutional survival system. Okay, it's not a one-man dictatorship, which is what a lot of Republicans think. That there's one leader, and if you killed that leader, that ultimately it would run around like a chicken with its head cut off, and the Persian people would be able to uprise against the government, which is what I think the administration thought immediately after the decapitation strikes. As you saw, both Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump tried to encourage an uprising. But the Mosaic Doctrine makes that harder because they have decentralized command, right? So basically, the state and security forces keep functioning even if you kill the supreme leader. They break up into 31 different commands over 31 different provinces, and they operate independently from one another. It makes it impossible. Impossible.
Wait, so do you still believe that the Mosaic Doctrine is alive?
The Mosaic Doctrine is a military strategy.
Yeah.
Which
do you
means
think
it
that,
makes
do you think
it makes the regime anchored by the IRGC. So removing one figure doesn't automatically collapse the whole system, right? The security apparatus, as you would call it, is tied to the system's survival. They've studied the United States and Israel's military movements and actions over the last several decades and come up with a restructured military strategy that's designed and focused on surviving decapitation strikes, right? It makes it impossible, really, to overthrow. And I say impossible in the sense that you would have to put boots on the ground and dedicate years and years to, military action. You're talking about potentially a 10, 20-year conflict, endless bloodshed and trillions of dollars, which the American people don't want. Furthermore, in the Mosaic Doctrine, the goal of that strategy is not to win the war, but to make winning impossible. It is structured to make it so the United States can't win. Iran knows they can't win, but they just want to make it as painful and as drawn out as possible, and so that way the United States doesn't do it again. How do they do that? They do that by mining the Strait of Hormuz, which is exactly what you just said. Why are we still there? You're at the finish line, dude. You just have to walk across it.
I mean, like, that's a question that I have, but I think at the same time, it's so hard to question him because he's always 10 steps ahead. It's like he when you know that he's losing, he always finds a way to win. So I kind of
okay. So your argument's not based on anything other than you think Trump can't be defeated. I explained this in detail, bro. Not sure what you're struggling with. I just laid out for you why it's that it's multi-layered, that it's decentralized, and that it makes it extremely difficult. Therefore, liberation is not an objective of the conflict. Donald Trump's already declared victory over regime change. Therefore, it's clearly not an objective of the conflict. The consequences are choking the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran is basically playing chicken with Donald Trump, and guess who's paying for it? Us. In no way should you support this. If you ask Donald Trump tomorrow, why are we doing this? Why are we at war with Iran? His answer is Because they can't have a nuclear weapon. That's his answer. It has nothing to do with regime change. He doesn't listen. Donald Trump threatened to genocide an entire population of people in Iran. He said civilization will end tonight. People who are trying to liberate a population of people, number one, do not threaten to genocide 92 million people, and furthermore, they don't bomb an educational institution as a part of decapitation strikes. There is no liberation movement occurring.
I mean, I get it.
Motion, can you shut up? You keep talking about how good of a debater you are in the chat. No one, I don't know who you are. Stop spamming the chat. Call in just like everyone else and you'll get through. No one's avoiding you. So anyway, do you have another point, dude?
No. I do understand your point, and I do get where you're coming from. But at the same time, I just don't know why we're there if there's no more objective left. If we
exactly, don't you understand? That's the point. That is the point. You're literally right. You're standing in front of the finish line and you're not walking across it. Why are we still there when there's no objectives left? You keep answering the question. Did you ever think that we're not there for the American taxpayer, but we're there for Israel? And now we're in a pinch where we can't leave because they're mining the Strait of Hormuz. And so now there has to be a diplomatic agreement for us to leave, which is why I advocated for diplomacy prior to the decapitation strikes, said it wasn't a good idea. I said specifically they would choke the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump and Republicans, for some reason, thought they would have to have the military capacity to form a traditional blockade, right? They didn't understand, I guess, that you can simply throw a water mine and they won't pass through. And that's how easy it is to make us suffer here at home. So they clearly have the upper hand. They're suffering too, don't get me wrong. But they understand that that's a consequence of making sure that the United States never does this again. They don't want us to leave without paying for this severely, both economically and politically.
Well, I mean, I think it's gonna be over soon. He did say it's basically over. So I'm just hoping we figure out a way to slowly back away and finish it.
All right, bro. Well, I appreciate that you have the hope that that's going to happen, and I hope it does happen. But unfortunately, everything throughout this process has shown otherwise. So I don't know what else to tell you, dude, but good luck with that.
Okay.
Take care. I mean, I don't know. It's just your argument is that you have faith in Donald Trump. Well, I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me. I don't have faith in Donald Trump that way. Okay? That's not how this works. This guy's saying Jesus Christ is the King of Kings. Wasn't that Triple H? I thought Triple H was the King of Kings. Guys, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. I don't know, 217, you just hung up. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Would appreciate it.
Call from
Valerio.
Didn't you just call in here?
Yeah, you said I was going to say something stupid, but I wasn't.
Yeah, you were.
Call from.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
My name is Amber.
All right, so I'll give you a chance, dude, real quick. What are the three branches of government?
Three branches of government.
See how easy it is to prove? Who laughs at that question? Someone who's about to slur. That's who. That's exactly who. Who laughs at what are the three branches of government? Who the fuck laughs at that question? It's so easy to just trick them into admitting their intentions. It really is. Adrian says, supporting Ukraine is infinitely more than just supporting Israel. What? Ukraine. We're talking about Iran. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you, Israel and Ukraine? What are you talking about? Are you a Trump supporter? Hello.
my name is.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not talking. You're 5 years old. So. Our trumpet calls regular calls. Yes, is pretty much what I debate Republicans mostly. But it's not that I don't take people from my side. I do. But largely it's people who disagree with me. Got rid of dictator Maduro. Oh, yeah. And that's great. It's a totally unrelated conflict, though, and doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
Call from.
Brr.
God, why do I get little kids, dude? It's always like these little kids discover the live, and then suddenly it's like I get a bunch of little kids calling in. Guys, real quick, I'm just going to use the bathroom. I'd really appreciate hitting the thumbs up button for 1 second. Hitting the thumbs up button, making sure you subscribe. I would appreciate completing the gifting goal. Thank you so much. I love this guy here. First of all, Ghislaine, you have the same name as one of the most infamous pedophiles in the world. And number 2, you're back in my live. Like, if you don't want to watch, don't watch. I love people that come and watch my live, and then they're like, oh my God, I have to watch this guy again. There's people all over the internet, and they're like complaining about being here. Just admit you like watching. That sounds good, John. Laura, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Laura. Appreciate you. Is that gifting goal over? No, we have 3 minutes left on that gifting goal. Would appreciate contributing. All right, the phone lines are on 908-652-3703. You are welcome to call in if you are a Trump supporter.
I'm just so mad at Adam. I can't stand watching Adam. I'm going to stay here for 3 hours, though, and watch him.
Phil says, I don't understand why some people overlook all the bad things Trump does and still stand behind him in support of Phil. It's as baffling to me as it is to you, friend. I honestly, like, it's deeply troubling. Deeply troubling. That is for sure. Anita's laughing about a $5 super chat for some reason.
Only $5?
Trump is a great president. Just grow up. What? What? A great president? Call in and tell me why. What are you guys talking about? I swear, some of you. Hi, are you? What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Huh?
No, you're a little kid. See that big 18 years old thing? You got to be 18. Jesse, thank you so much towards the goal. Thank you for you, Adam. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you, Jesse. It's a stark contrast when I come on YouTube, because it's like all the maggots like to come through. On TikTok, it's like 95 support and 5%, and over here it's like the opposite. Why are they so shy to defend their beliefs? Because they know they'll get dog walked. That's why.
Huh?
What's going on, dude? Are you a Trump supporter, and are you 18?
Yes.
Did you hear that, kid? Yes. Lady Rage, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thanks for all you do, Adam. Thank you, Lady Rage, for supporting. Appreciate you so much. I was going to take all day off, but I always feel compelled to do at least one live stream a day. Cheryl, thank you so much, Cheryl, for the Canadian $13.99. Appreciate you, Cheryl. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Appreciate you, Cheryl. Fan says, Trump is a joke, is known as a clown internationally. Really, yes. Listen, when you talk to people outside of the United States, it's shocking. I mean, they're laughing at us. They're literally laughing at us, and I want to change that, obviously. Are you a Trump supporter?
Hey, man.
And don't talk to little kids. Stop calling.
Call.
Are you that little kid? I'm going to block your number now, okay? And if you call again, I'm calling your mom. I'm calling your mom, bro.
Call from.
That's what I do. I call their moms and they get grounded. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, an adult. It's just such a relief. Thank you so much. Nayland, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Nayland. Hold on, dude. Let me fucking turn this off. All right, bro. Do you support the war in Iran and everything that's going on as a Trump supporter? How do you like the way things are going?
You know, I don't really care what Trump does. Have you seen the man? He's smoking hot. And that's all I gotta know.
Oh, I gotta admit, that was funny, dude. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You like that AI photo that he posted on True Social with Marco Rubio in the middle? Why is little Marco in the middle? That just irritates me, you know. Why is little Marco in the middle?
Call from.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Hey, how you doing? No.
Call
Hi.
from.
Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
How old are you, bro? All right, what's up?
Hey, what's up, brother?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 21.
Okay, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm just gonna be a 30-second call, man. I just seen your stream. You pop up in my algorithm like a few times. I be scrolling on and procrastinating, going to work. I just want to say, man, you doing good work out there. I'm surprised you even try to debate these guys. And,
Appreciate you, buddy.
Just keep your head up, man. You know, and there's a lot going on in the world right now. I'm tired of paying taxes, tired of this capitalism. But I just want everybody just to keep their head up because I know there's a lot going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So just keep it pushing, man. You know, it's hard not to dive into the nihilism of it all, but we'll get through it all. You know, we'll definitely get through it. You know, it's beyond just Trump. Democrats, Republicans, they're both the same serpent. And once we realize that the same head, the same serpent, you know, we will be better off for it. But y'all stay safe.
I appreciate you, dude. Take care. 908-652-3703. 908-652-3703. This person said, bro, you can support Trump and love Jesus. I disagree. I think if you truly believe in the Bible, and you truly love and support God, I don't think you can support Trump. Maybe that's a debate topic I should have. What do you think, guys? Think that's something I should do at some point? It's up to you guys. Ellen, W. Ellen with the Venmo. Ellen, thank you so much. Are you a Trump supporter?
Maybe that's a debate.
What? Call from.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
All right, thank God, an adult, for the love of God. Ellen, W. Ellen, thank you so much. Send on behalf of all the MAGA chuds on YouTube today. Happy Saturday, Adam. Happy Saturday, Ellen. Thank you so much for the Venmo, Ellen. Appreciate you. What's your first name, dude? Where are you from, and are you a Trump supporter?
My name's
Okay, I guess he didn't want to tell us his name, so he hung up. That was weird. My name's never mind. Dude, not your full name, just something to call you other than Chud. I don't want to call you Chud. I don't want to call you Troglodyte, right? I don't want to call you a maggot. I want to call you Bob or Tim or Mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying?
Call from.
Quincy.
What's up? How old are you?
28.
Okay, you got to turn the live stream off in the background, dude.
Oh.
It's echoing.
Alright.
What's up?
Oh shit, I called the wrong.
What? What is this guy saying? All right, call back when you're ready, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Dudes, you called what? You're calling me. I can hear the live stream in the background. What the fuck?
Call from
Smoking problem.
What's up, dude?
Hello?
Yes, how are you? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay.
I've been a Trump supporter since 2015.
Since 2015. Okay. And you still support him as much as you did in the beginning?
Correct. Yes, I love Donald Trump. I just want to say,
Zell, thank
I
you so
love
much.
Donald
I'm not
Trump.
here to listen to your love for Donald Trump. I'm here to debate. Do you want to debate? I'm not giving you a platform to tell
Okay.
me how much you love a Cheeto.
okay, let me debate, but I will start off the debate by saying I love Donald Trump, and I hope all who oppose him burn in the hellfire.
All right. Goodbye. For the love of God. I think that was that Aladdin, dude? Was that Aladdin? Was that Aladdin from TikTok? Somebody tell me. Was that Aladdin from TikTok? Somebody in the chat said, well, he doesn't like you. Facts. Facts on
call
facts.
from
What's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
I guess you could say I am.
Well, it's not, I guess you could say. Who did you vote for?
Well, okay, so no. So I just have to explain.
How old are you?
So 18. I just turned 18. I didn't vote in the past election. I was 17.
We don't need an explanation then. You're 18, so that's why you didn't vote in the last election. You weren't able to. So let's
exactly.
I guess I'm going to tell you honestly, bro, like I'm happy that like young people are engaged in politics. I have 18 plus up there. I really don't talk to people below 21 because it always ends up some immature, dumb shit conversation. But maybe you can prove me wrong. Do you support the war in Iran?
No.
Beautiful. So do you still support him, or your support's waning?
Well, okay. So I was calling you to ask.
And before you continue, Joey,
right.
keep Joey in chat. You keep saying being your, asking your, not just my Joey. Joe Freely, whatever, you really need to work on the difference between your and your. You keep spamming, okay? And it's seriously, like, bothering me. Please stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody needs to get him banned. Anyways, so I was just wondering what you could do to sort of convince me in the opposite direction because, like stereotypically, like I'm a Christian. I'm not really into politics, but you came up on my page and I was like, I might as well give him a call.
Yeah, that's a fine question.
Like,
sure.
Like, what would you do to like sort of persuade me towards the other side?
As it pertains to your religion or just in general?
Just in general. Like if you met me on the street and was like, hey,
Sure.
you should be an anti-Trump supporter or a Democrat or whatever you want to.
Well, if I was going to do that, I would seriously start breaking down the Epstein files and the obstruction of justice by the Department of Justice currently. The Department of Justice is comprised of his personal attorney. You're aware of that, right? They're actively obstructing justice to prevent the American people from obtaining access to that information. That information contains information about Donald Trump. We've already seen some of it. Credible victims' testimony that was already deemed otherwise credible by the Department of Justice when previously referring to an Epstein accusation. So I would technically start there. I could just bringing up like the most recent things without even going too far back. That's one of them. I mean, if you're a Christian, he just depicted himself as Jesus the other day on his Truth Social. I mean, that's incredibly blasphemous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say
that really.
I would say, I mean, which one would you like, folks? Would you like to talk about? I mean, the Epstein is what if I was trying to convince you why you shouldn't support him in particular, instead of like what I believe is a greater fascist movement by the Republican Party, then I would focus on maybe some policies and different things like that. But how aware are you of Donald Trump's involvement in the Epstein files, and how aware are you of the obstruction of justice that's currently taking place by the acting Attorney General Todd Blanche and former Attorney General Pam Bondi under the direct order of the President of the United States?
I'm not that aware.
Somebody in chat says, really, somebody in chat keeps saying, really, his personal attorney now is Attorney General. Yes, you goof. Todd Blanche was Donald Trump's personal attorney. He defended him in his criminal cases. He stood next to him when he received an unconditional discharge in New York, falsifying business records, to hide campaign finance violations. That guy got appointed and confirmed Deputy Attorney General under Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi was fired. He's now the acting AG. You don't know what you're talking about. But go ahead, dude.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, I don't really know much about the files. I've looked into them. I've looked at what I can have. I really enjoyed what's I guess I wouldn't consider enjoyed. I was really interested in diving into the files and what the files pertained from what we publicly have right now. But no, I did not know anything about that.
True Smith just donated $5 to tell me that
W.
I have a fake number. This idiot really thinks because when I'm on the phone with someone else,
Fake
he
number.
can't call in. Like this is how dumb they are, dude. They literally think if I'm, I get tons of phone calls at the same time. So clearly, when I pick up a phone call, the number's going to be busy. This idiot donated $5 to tell me that my number is fake. Like that's the level of goof that supports Donald Trump. But anyway, so like. That's kind of what I would focus on if I was going to say like point to the level of corruption, and then about his character in specific. He's done a million things that are problematic just through the course of this administration. His foreign policy has been a disaster. We've been talking a lot about the war in Iran and things like that. Joe Anderson's crying still in chat about the super chats, guys, so I'm going to put up a new goal so you guys can complete it on behalf of Joe. He's very mad. He's spamming, don't give this guy any super chats, so do it on behalf of Joe. What do you think about that in specific? I mean, would you like me to go deeper? But I can lay out the entire timeline for you. Would you like me to do that since he got in there? It's only a year and a half, and I can explain it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I want to hear the timeline.
So Donald Trump, as he's running for president, campaigns on the fact that he's going to release the Epstein files. Okay, this is a big part of his campaign. He says, "I'm releasing the Epstein files." True Smith is still typing, "Hey, idiot! I've been calling for 10 minutes." Now he's donating $2. True Smith, I'm just going to mute you. I appreciate the free money, but I just don't want to see your comments anymore. But keep sending super chats to say something dumb. I'm on the phone, you goofball. God, they're dumb. So Donald Trump runs on, I'm going to release the Epstein files. Then he gets elected, and he's informed by Pam Bondi, who's currently the acting attorney general, that he's in the files extensively. Okay? Once he's informed he's in the files extensively, he starts instructing people in the White House, including the Department of Justice and others, to stop talking about the Epstein files. When you're asked about the Epstein files, say we're done talking about Epstein. When he was asked about him, he said, look, Epstein's dead. We're moving on from this subject. We're not talking about Epstein anymore. Okay? Well, the Oversight Committee wasn't going to take that for an answer. You're not just going to dismiss this like you've done everything else. So the Oversight Committee, who's tasked with investigating the Epstein files, was going to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell, who was currently being housed in a medium security prison in Florida. When they found out that the Oversight Committee was going to subpoena her, right, to testify in front of the Oversight Committee to depose her, Todd Blanche, who's Donald Trump's personal attorney, flew out to Florida to sit down with her, and they had a meeting. And there was no ongoing investigation, nothing like that. Extremely strange. Why would the Deputy Attorney General be rushing to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell when he finds out the Oversight Committee's interested in issuing a subpoena for her testimony? Because they're scared she's going to say something about Donald Trump's involvement. The only thing new we get out of that meeting is she's never witnessed Donald Trump in a private setting or behaving inappropriately. Well, the Oversight Committee, first of all, we think that's suspicious already. But what makes it even more suspicious is 2 days after that meeting, she was transferred to a minimum security prison in Camp Bryan, Texas, where she's been receiving preferential treatment.
So you think that they
Yes, they had a quid pro quo meeting. They secured whatever she was going to say in return for transferring her to a minimum security prison in Camp Bryan, Texas. You can look all of this stuff up. This is not me making stuff up. You can verify everything I say when I'm done here. That prison is known as Club Fed because of how lax it is. People actually work off-site there. Now, remember who we're talking about. We're talking about one of the most infamous sex offenders in the history of our country. We're talking about someone who directly participated in the abuse. Yes, Epstein's dead. But she was just as bad. She participated. I encourage you to go look up what she did specifically, and this will make this so much worse when you realize
I've seen.
Right. So she gets
researched and seen
transferred. She gets transferred. This is just one thing. I'm just trying to give you a basic timeline of events. She gets transferred. And FFTV, thank you, by the way. And Naylin and Neely, thank you so much. I appreciate you. She gets transferred. Well, the oversight committee says, well, this is like crazy. Like, everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is she getting transferred? Todd Blanche won't answer the question at the time. In fact, his first answer was, well, that's up to the Bureau of Prisons. But everything the Bureau of Prisons does falls under the authority of the Deputy Attorney General. So that's kind of weird that he said that. Later on, when he was confronted with that direct point that I just made, he said, well, I'm not going to get into what it is. I know what it is, but I'm not going to get into it. Well, it was 2 days after they had a meeting, so clearly we know that meeting was quid pro quo, and you were rewarding her for saying she wouldn't rat out Donald Trump. Pretty obvious, right? So the Oversight Committee then subpoenas emails from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, which were unsealed by a court because Ghislaine Maxwell had exhausted her direct appeals. In those emails, we see stuff from 2013, 2011, 2010, even further back, of Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein having discussions about Donald Trump in a private setting in the presence of one of his victims. Things that they're saying long before Donald Trump's even in elected politics that prove that her testimony wasn't credible. She wasn't telling the truth. And that's no shock because she's already lied under oath, which kind of goes back to, why are we interviewing her and having her give testimony when she's already lied under oath? Kind of weird. So anyways, that all happens. Todd Blanche gets called out again. They're like, hey, are you going to sit down with her again since all this new information comes out? Well, we haven't looked into that. That's not something I'm going to discuss right here. They kind of put it on the back burner. Well, now they start talking about, we want to pass a law to force the release of these files. Donald Trump didn't want this law to pass. It was called the Epstein Transparency Act. He tried to convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition, so the Epstein Transparency Act never went to the House. Well, guess what? It didn't work. Those Republicans didn't fall for it, and it went to the House. It passed with one nay vote in the House and unanimous consent in the Senate, which means it had a supermajority, a veto-proof supermajority, and the president had to sign it. He couldn't not sign it. If he didn't sign it, they would have just overridden the veto. So Trump has to sign it at this point. He has no choice. And since then, the Department of Justice has been obstructing the release of those files. The Epstein Transparency Act said that those files must be released by December 19th, 2025, which they weren't. And there were specific parts of it that were designed to protect victims, which they didn't follow through with. Victims' information has been released. They did really poor job on the redactions. They didn't want names of potential perpetrators' names redacted, and they've done that. Elon Musk's name's redacted in the files for some reason. They did such a poor job on the redactions. You can actually copy and paste certain text into Notepad and it unredacts. That's how poor of a job they did. But the point is, they haven't complied with the law, right? The files have not been released, and this is a law that was passed by Congress. They're clearly obstructing justice. Donald Trump was so upset by this, he was going to fire Pam Bondi back in January when this was taking over the headlines. Then you had things like the battle for Minneapolis and some other different headlines that took over, and it kind of got put on the back burner. And then when it came back to the front again, he fired her, right? Todd Blanche is now the attorney general, the acting attorney general. That's Donald Trump's personal attorney. I'd say that's a conflict of interest, and is saying they're not going to release any more of the files. So you have to sit back and say to yourself, at what point, like, how long am I going to defend Donald Trump when it concerns this specific material? He clearly, if I have this is how I kind of get this across to people who want to defend Donald Trump on any situation. Let's change the context just slightly. If I have a folder that contains 40 documents that I say prove you engaged in this particular category of crime, and I'm going to show the chat right now what's in this folder, you would say show them, because you'd be confident you never engaged in that category of crime. There wouldn't be this extensive effort to keep me from showing what's in that folder unless you had committed that category of crime, correct? So then you have to ask yourself, what is one reasonable, logical explanation the President of the United States doesn't want those files getting in the hands of the American people?
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot.
I'm trying to give you the quickest. I tried to give you the quickest, like, crunch of information, like speed run. Now, obviously, it's deeper than that, but I'm trying to give you a speed run of where we are today as quickly as I can for the sake of our conversation. That's serious. That's happening right now, dude. There's a lot of people that believe Donald Trump pulled the trigger on the war in Iran simply because he wanted to change the narrative when it concerns the Epstein files. And guess what? I think it was probably part of the equation. I don't think it was the sole reason, but I think he probably understood it would change the headlines. And guess what? It effectively did. It effectively did.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that was proven that like there was like a trafficking ring at like the golf course too, the Trump golf course.
So Epstein tried to traffic, traffic young girls from Mar-a-Lago. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, this is what I would talk about. This is how I would basically explain this to you. Now, if we had 2 hours together, I'd sit down and talk about this on a much more detailed level. I'd explain, I wouldn't speed run. But all I could say to you is hopefully I piqued your interest enough that you'll take the time to go investigate what I just told you, because everything I just told you is true. Every single thing.
Sorry, I'm back to where I was. But yeah, but I had one thing I'm trying to remember back from when I was investigating this. Like I got into this a lot. I remember seeing something. Epstein sent a text message to somebody about how he disliked Trump, and how he like really hated Trump, and how they weren't really good buddies.
Yeah, they had a falling out.
I'm not. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was just wanted to hear like, because I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, sure. So I'll tell you exactly what happened. They had a falling out. According to Trump, Epstein frequented Mar-a-Lago up until I think 2007. Now there certainly there's information in the files that potentially contradict that, but let's just go by what Trump says. That up until 2007, they apparently had a falling out, that he was aware that he was engaging in trying to recruit young girls from Mar-a-Lago. Trump says that he confronted him and told him, hey, I don't want you doing or hey, this is a warning, don't do this anymore. And then he did it again. I don't know who gives someone a warning who's trying to recruit young girls from your establishment. I think that's a first time ban kind of thing, but that's what he says. Epstein gets convicted, or Epstein gets arrested for a sex-related offense in 2006. So once it starts to come to light that Epstein obviously is an S offender and it's not a secret anymore, he has a falling out with a lot of people, not just Trump. Obviously some of them distance themselves. A lot of the stuff we're talking about, though, is before that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much. You really helped me out. I just wanted to hear a lot more.
Just look into it, man. Here's the thing. There is I think it's called Gmail. I don't know if you've ever done this before.
I used that for a lot of stuff.
Did you do it? Did you see I mean, there's quite a few emails in there you should read. Not just about Trump.
Yeah,
like,
really
here's what you also have to ask yourself, dude, right? You know Howard Lutnick is in the files extensively as well, and he's standing next to Donald Trump. So even if you wanted to make this claim that Donald Trump is not actually guilty of these crimes and this and that, his buddies are in there. Like Howard Lutnick stands next to Donald Trump in the Oval Office and laughs in the camera.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Take care.
Appreciate you too.
Guys, you notice when I talk about the Epstein files, all the PDF files in the chat start getting angry. Like the Z00 guy, post your address. Don't you dare go after PDF files. Zero, shut up, dude. You're not going to do anything, all right? You're all talk. What are you going to do? Deliver me a fucking fruit basket? You're not going to do shit, dude. Shut up, all right? No one's afraid of you. No, it must suck to tell the truth. And I know it bothers Trump supporters to hear the truth. I understand that. Well, the reality is it's the truth. How old are you? No, you cannot talk to me. You're like 5 years old, dude. What the fuck? Where are these people's parents? Someone tell me why a 10-year-old is calling people on YouTube. Like, for the love of God, where are your parents? Jesus. Probably out trying to pay these crazy fuel prices. Daily Oppressor, shut up, dude. You're a dunce. Shut the fuck up. I love these people that, what are you, both sides? Two wings of the same bird. That's like the dude that sits at the campfire with his hood up and he's like, yeah, you know, both sides are the same, right? I'm not going to confront the fascist problem that is the Republican Party because Democrats are the same, bro. Shut up, simpleton. The adults are talking. I think this guy's going to get a visit from the Man in Black. You mean the FBI? I already have. If that's what you're talking about. It's called freedom of speech. And if we're at a point where the FBI arrests me for speaking out against the administration, then as Jim Ross would say, by God, we're going to hell. By God, we're going to hell. Guys, look at this. This guy's telling me, this guy's talking about smarts. Let's pin the message. Hold on. Let's pin the message. But there's one thing that he's forgetting. This is what I hate when people talk about like how smart people are. Listen, I'm permanently muting you, okay? You're gone. You've been spamming for 3 hours about IQ and this and that. So now you're muted, okay? Unfortunately, you're muted. You're not allowed to talk anymore. Have a good day. MAGA is very mad, yes. They're always mad. W in the chat if you just like watching MAGA cry, though. Like, I freaking love watching MAGA cry. There's a MAGA person who literally is in the chat spamming that this photograph below me is fake. There's literally a Muppet in the chat that thinks that I made this photo. Your president posted this, folks. Your president posted this. Okay? Your president. Not me. Your president. Hold on, guys. Jesus Christ everywhere, says L. Oh, my God. Stupid name. Of course you want to debate abortion. You want to try and tell women what to do with their bodies. Shocker. Shocker that you would want to tell women what to do with their bodies. I am shocked. I am shocked that you would want to tell women what to do with their bodies. Shocker. Ethan, thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. I know, they're so creepy, dude. They want to protect PDFs, and they want to tell women whether or not they can have an abortion. That is a creepy fucking combination right there. That is a creepy combination. Yeah, women's healthcare is really cool. I love women's healthcare. I love women's healthcare. What I don't like is troglodyte incels who think they're going to tell women what they're going to do with their fucking bodies. It's disgusting and laughable. You don't even respect consent. You're going to tell them what to do with their body? Oh my God. If I can't get you to respect consent, then guess what? You don't get to tell women what to fucking do with their body. Yes, I am. What are you going to do about it, Sean? What are you going to do about it, Sean? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Imagine being in a TikTok chat and being like, why are you not outside in the grass? While he's in the chat doing the exact same trolling in the chat. MAGA logic to buy super chats and cry about feelings. Big facts. Dude, that MAGA that I had to literally block that MAGA that was buying super chats to like say shit to me. And we're just laughing. It's funny as hell. This guy says, you are an effing nerd. Listen, I am. I honestly, you're right. I'm not even going to deny that one. I am a nerd. You're right. I am a nerd. You're right about that. See, I'm willing to be honest. You're right. You're right. You know, you're kind of right. Wallbat, you can't spell, which means you are definitely a Trump supporter. So shut the fuck up. All right. You think I was born yesterday with this? Well, I don't support Trump, but I can't stand you. Yes, you do support Trump. You know how we know? Because you don't know the difference between your and your. Okay? That's how we know. It is easy to identify you. Okay? It's that easy. Yeah, bro, I wish you would. This guy's creepy. He wants to like come over my house or something. What a weirdo.
Ooh, I'm gonna do this.
Adam, you doing TikTok in the morning? Yeah, Rebel, probably. Probably Rebel. Probably. Can I get a shout out? What's up, Stoner? Listen, I said I would talk about it with you if you're willing to say you condemn PDF files and the Epstein files. If you want to have that conversation, we can have it. But you're going to talk to me about, for the first thing you're going to do is condemn grown men assaulting children before we have a conversation about abortion. I'm not debating a topic with you about this, right? When you can't even condemn adults essaying them, right? John Cresswell says, you're an idiot, but spells you're wrong, which is very typical of the MAGA cults. I just keep pinning them over and over because it's just unbelievable to me how they all write the same exact thing. Samuel. I can't go there, Samuel. Bro, anybody who uses the term dog in 2026 is a clown. Like, straight up. You're a fucking clown, Dalton. All right? And you voted for a PDF file. So get over it. They're so triggered about super chats. I love that they're so triggered about the super chats, man. Don't forget to complete the gifting goal, guys. They're super triggered about super chats, and I love it, man. I think it's awesome to watch MAGA cry. It really is. Yes, you have to agree with everything I say. That's exactly what I said, Sylvia. Good critical analysis there. Let's read this comment. Input failed. Nope, don't take calls from fake numbers. Input failed. Kamala was right about everything. Let's see this.
Call from.
Are you an adult?
Yeah.
You have an echo. Call back when you don't have an echo. Input failed really quick. Input failed. Okay. Kamala was right about everything. Trump is doing everything she said he would, and he's doing everything he said she would do. Hey, listen, I don't think we can deny that Kamala Harris definitely said that Donald Trump would invade Iran. She was right about that for sure. MAGA's super triggered by Kamala stuff. Like, they're super triggered about Kamala Harris. Thank you so much, Lees. Appreciate you, Lees. W. Lees.
Call from.
What's up, bro? Hello?
Oh, you actually answered?
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
So, do you have a problem with Eric Swalwell?
Yeah, I told him to step down as soon as the accusations came out.
Oh, so it's fine when
I just said I told him to step down, you doink. Do you want Trump to step down?
Do you? Well, there's no information or no factual evidence
Owned
that
it,
says
guys.
that he was
Literally owned in 30 seconds. Oh, so it's okay for Swalwell to do it. I just said he should step down. I believed the women that accused him. Lees, thank you so
you had to
much,
wait?
Lees. Wenchy, thank you so much, Wenchy. And Lees, thank you so much, Lees.
So why do people like you instantly go to insults? Because you
voted for a
PDF
PDF file. Because you voted for a PDF file.
See, it's funny you say.
You voted for a PDF file. That conversation's going nowhere. You voted for a PDF file. Bro, literally. So, what about Eric Swalwell? I told him to step down immediately. Oh, so it's okay for him to... No, I told him to step down, Goofy. Lees, thank you so much. You're triggering them hard right now, Lees. You're triggering them hard right now.
Oh, so you're saying that it was okay that Eric Swalwell did that?
Who gives a shit about Eric Swalwell? The funniest thing is that these guys think I'm some fucking, like, Democrat or something, you know? Exotica too lit. Shut up, bro. Thank you, Lees. W. Lees in the chat. W. Lees in the chat. Yeah, Adam has no arguments. Yeah, that's
Call
right.
from
That's definitely true. People definitely believe that. There's only hours upon hours of me fucking dominating you guys. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
Do you support the war in Iran?
Well, that's kind of a hard question to support. I think any war is bad for people all over the place. You don't know what I mean?
No, I don't. Go ahead. Elaborate.
Well, I think war is just man's greed.
I agree, but this is specific to Donald Trump, right?
All right. Well, specifically Donald Trump, every Democrat and Republican for the past 30 years has supported getting rid of the Ayatollah in Iran.
True. Not true.
Not true?
No.
How so?
Because there were statements made about if they... The question here is whether or not you can provide there was a legitimate hostility defense, right? If there was a legitimate imminent threat. Can you provide me there was a legitimate imminent threat?
No, I'm not trying to provide that. I'm just saying.
Well, and then the war is illegal, right? You can't do it unless there's a hostility defense. And so, well, the issue that we have here is not that the regime is bad, not that the Ayatollah is evil, not that they're oppressive to their people, not even that they would potentially use weapons against Israel or U.S. military. The question is whether or not they were going to, right? And whether or not you can provide that they were going to. And the answer to those questions are no.
On the Israel front, I don't give a shit about them. They're not America.
That's the problem, dude. That's the issue we have here. This is all for them. This isn't for us. This is all for their bullshit. This isn't for us. Do you think this is for the American? Honestly, let me ask you an honest question. If you're willing to admit that, I'm glad you are, because I agree. Are you? Do you really believe when the president says, right? And it was just asked again yesterday. Your Americans currently experiencing an affordability crisis are paying over $4 a gallon for fuel. What do you have to say to them? This is his response. It's worth it to make sure that Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, and they're going to launch it at the United States. That's what makes it worth it.
Here's. And I totally get where you're coming from, but here's my counterpoint. We had a no-name country, send or hijack 2, 3, 4 planes, whatever the media wants us to believe in that perspective, attack us and cause the deaths of over 2,000 Americans. So if they can hijack 2 of our planes...
That wasn't Iran.
I understand that, and that's the point I'm getting to. But what's to say that their their point of the world where they live is they are taught to hate us, that there will not be that guy who says, oh shit, we have the capabilities, we have the bomb to kill them all, that won't come over here and do that. So is it now? I'm not saying it's okay to police on probability, right? That's you can't do that. You can't be accusatorial in, hey, they might. But Iran has
accusatory, yeah. Listen,
accusatorial.
Let me just say this really quick. Here's the problem. You're talking about a religious war. This is not a religious war. This isn't a war on Islam. What you're doing is actually the problem. Is you're trying to claim that we should be declaring war on a particular religion or region.
No. Al
Qaeda was think that Al Qaeda's in Afghanistan and Iraq, and this doesn't have anything to do with Al Qaeda.
Well, we should have let them do them. That ain't our fucking war to fight. All that.
But we're talking about Iran, though. There's totally different. It's not even. They don't even they have the IRGC is what we're talking about in this case. Now, if you're talking about an issue with the regime being radical, this theocratic Islamic Republic being radical,
them having nuclear capabilities is the issue.
Nuclear, yeah. So the problem is that you can't provide that was actually happening. I'll give you a couple reasons why. Number one, are you familiar with Operation Midnight Hammer?
I am not.
Remember an operation that was conducted in the summer of 2025?
Oh yeah, okay.
What happened?
Well, I'm only pertinent to what the bullshit media feeds us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tell me what you know about it.
All I know is we destructed their nuclear capabilities, which I think we should.
Three sites,
I think
right?
Is right. Well, if we did more, then that's wrong. But
no. We did exactly what you're saying, right? There were 3 sites in Fordo, in Natanz, and Isfahan. We dropped a bunker buster on an enrichment facility, a GBU-57 bunker buster. For the enrichment facility was underground.
But from that perspective, isn't it also weird? And couldn't you say it might be a little, enlightening that all the other Arab countries have also, been attacked by them? It's kind of a weird conundrum that we're on this specific point.
Okay, but hold on. Please let me finish what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
The point is, if you conduct a military operation targeted towards destroying their enrichment facilities so they can't develop uranium, in Isfahan, it was a major nuclear support site. It had uranium processing and conversion, and we hit that with Tomahawk missiles, and basically said that they didn't have the ability to develop nuclear weapons. Donald Trump used the word obliterated multiple times, their capability to develop nuclear weapons. If that's the case, how can it be a primary objective months later? How can they be an imminent threat months later? Look, I want to let you know, additionally, you brought up Israel's influence over this war. How long has Benjamin Netanyahu been claiming that Iran was 2 weeks?
I'm not going to claim anything for Israel.
Excuse me, I'm not finished. Please let me finish. Please let me finish.
Israel's wrong.
Okay, and I need to connect the two together so you can understand. I'm talking about an operation we conducted in 2025, and I'm saying additionally, how long has Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel been claiming that Iran was in possession of weapons-grade enriched uranium or 2 weeks away from nuclear weapons? How long?
Right.
How long?
And the longevity of their statement, I have no idea.
Over 35 years, nearly 40 years, they've been claiming the exact
the same length that we've hated Iran.
You're missing the point. The point is that you can't establish that they actually were about to develop a nuclear weapon. We know they want a civilian nuclear program. What we know in terms of the timeline of events is that we had a diplomatic agreement in place in the JCPOA. Trump tore that agreement up Regardless of how you feel about that agreement, it allowed for the most intrusive inspections we've had. Trump's claimed he could negotiate a better agreement. That's why he tore it up, because you wouldn't tear up an agreement unless you could negotiate a better one, right? Even if you considered it flawed. Instead, in his second term, opted for that military action we just previously discussed in Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Hold on. And then claimed it was a primary objective just months later. That doesn't make any sense in terms of a hostility defense.
So the information you're getting is subsequently different from mine. Is that, I mean, how are you having all this information to come at it from this angle?
What information? Dispute what I'm saying. What did I say that's factually incorrect, and I'll prove it.
I'm not saying anything you had, but I'm saying that a country that hates America to have nuclear capabilities of the weaponized kind
should we be invading? Should we be attacking North Korea? Should we be attacking Russia?
I think we should be shutting everyone down that hates us. Yes, absolutely. We are the world's police. Unfortunately, and as terrible as that sounds, yes, would you rather them come here and kill the people you love and you know?
So you think we should attack every country that hates the United States?
No. What I'm saying is,
you just said we should be the world's police, and we should attack every country that in any way hates the United States.
Okay, well, what happens to number one?
This is when you're number one with our country, by the way, guys. This is everything wrong.
What happens?
Here's what you're not understanding. Let me try and come at this. Can I finish? Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
I want to come at this from a different angle, because what you're doing is partly due to American exceptionalist indoctrination, which means that you are under the assumption that people shouldn't hate us. That is American exceptionalism, the idea that people shouldn't hate us, that we are the good guy by default.
But people will hate us.
We have conducted, because of the actions we've committed, we have bombed these countries in the Middle East into submission. We've killed civilians. We've destabilized the entire region through the global war on terror. These countries have good reason to not like us. Now, that's a different conversation, but it's something you need to understand when you have this world's police conversation.
I totally
why don't you look? When is the
agree.
United States, as a country, and I'm an American, look in the mirror and say, maybe we need to start focusing on American citizens and taking care of Americans, and stop worrying about conducting Israel's military operations, and maybe these countries won't hate us in the Middle East if we mind our own fucking business. That would be a start.
I think we should get away from all of it.
You just claimed we should be the world's police 5 seconds ago.
We have to, because when we start doing stuff in our country, all the Democrats scream about the fucking everybody screams about fracking and no, we can't have oil here, and we can't do that. So you're fighting a war on two fronts.
Well, okay, so wait, I thought this war was about nuclear deployment.
Okay, yeah, well, I don't think anyone should have nukes.
You can't even stay on an objective. You've argued 4 different objectives. First, you tried to make this a religious thing that people
No, I never tried to make it a religious thing. That was your word.
Yeah, you did.
I never once brought up religion. Okay. Not once.
So these people are taught to hate us. Do you think that comes out of nowhere? Do you think it has anything to do with we have dates in this country. I know this is hard for a lot of Americans to understand. We have dates in this country, like 9/11, and rightfully so. Right? Innocent people lost their life, a lot of them. Do you know people in these other countries, do you know why they don't have dates like that? Because it happens every day. Civilians get bombed by other countries every day. Can you understand why a country might want to possess those capabilities to assist in defending their sovereignty? You got to let me finish, dude. Go ahead. Tell me what profound thing you want to say.
You would blame America for the deaths and atrocities that other countries are committing when we're not even there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. For instance, in Palestine is largely due to us.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with that. Afghanistan.
You agree with it? You just said when we're not even there. Yes, we fund these wars.
Afghanistan has nothing to do with us. Iraq
Afghanistan has nothing to do with us?
Nope. That was all the Brits.
What the fuck is
That
this
was
guy
them.
talking about? Oh my God. So tell me, what did we do in Iraq specifically during the global war on terror?
Oh, we fucking decimated their country and their culture.
Thank you so
and,
much, Neely. Trump supporters are
Yeah,
triggered in
I'm
the chat when they
saying
watch
that
their
was
boys
wrong.
get dog.
I'm agreeing.
But you said we
that
didn't
was
do
wrong.
anything. So would you say that as
No,
a
no,
result
no.
of the global war on terror, we destabilized an entire
Yeah,
region?
well, we all know the global war on terror was bullshit. What I'm getting at is the actions.
You don't have a point, bro. You literally don't have a point. You
actions that a country
flip-flopped
submits.
Guys, shut up. You flip-flopped to 4 different objectives during this conflict. They hate
So you
us.
want
They have
Iran?
nuclear
You want
deployment.
Iran to have nukes?
No,
you want
that's
Iran to have
that's
nukes?
a straw man.
You
fallacy.
want North Korea to have nukes?
That's a straw man fallacy. Why would I want them to have? I'm saying you can't just go around invading other countries because they have weapons.
So check it out.
Shut
so you
up!
Don't
you have
want,
to let me
you
finish.
You don't want
bro.
North Korea to have nukes, but you don't want
Trump
us to
supporters.
attack them.
Trump supporters think this guy's smart.
Yes, but you don't want You don't want nukes in North Korea, right? Agreed. But
yeah, but
if
we can't
they have
invade
nuclear
other countries.
capabilities, you don't want us to attack them. So which one is it?
What it
That's
is
the Biden perspective. No, let them get nukes, and then when they use one, we'll attack them.
Well, Iran doesn't have the missile.
Fallacy of
Iran
that?
doesn't have the missile technology to reach the United States.
Not anymore. You fucking right.
No, they
anymore.
didn't before
They
this
sure
war.
don't.
They didn't even before this war.
Yeah, they didn't even come close. Thanks,
so
Trump.
let's look it up together. Did Iran possess the missile technology to reach the United States before the war? Let's look it up together and see who's right.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Yep. All right. So, and then while we're on that subject,
No, let's Google it first, and then we'll look it up.
Let's Google
By
it.
the way,
now who's Iran's
to the
main
Republicans
backer?
to the Republicans in chat.
Who's Iran's
Can you
main
shut
backer?
up for a second, please? Shut the fuck up.
You don't want to be wrong, do you?
Who's Iran's main backer? Russia and China. Now, can I fucking please?
That's right. And do they have missile capabilities? Long-range missile capabilities? Guess
So
what?
what's your
they
point?
Sure the fuck.
So
they
your
sure
point
do.
is what?
So if they're enriching uranium, well, let's just let them do it. Is that what you're saying?
No,
just like North Korea.
that's not what I'm saying.
Let's just let them. Let's wait till they fucking attack us.
This is your
what the
average
problem
Trump
with
supporter, folks.
Yes, that's
Low
right. Here's
IQ,
your average
know-it-all.
Trump supporter. The problem with number one is everyone else wants to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue. And everyone will do their best to take you from the number one spot.
Profound.
In America, sorry, you might hate it, but we are number one.
Yeah, he won't
And
even let you
every
talk. He
other
doesn't even let you
country-
speak. He just keeps yapping. He's not even saying anything. You're not
Every
even
other
saying
country
anything.
wants to be. Yeah.
You're not
That's
even
funny
saying
because
anything
I've watched you
can't
run over all
provide-
the other callers.
You can't, guy. All you've been doing is you're getting run over too. I already proved you wrong 10 minutes ago. You're just pivoting. You're pivoting to different reasons. You cannot provide me what I initially said, which is an objective, a legitimate hostility defense. The idea that a country might in the future be able to possess a nuclear weapon is not justification.
And that's
to
what
bomb.
I'm agreeing with.
Can
so
I
let's
fucking
give, Let's
finish?
give nukes to North Korea.
Bro, you
Then
don't let people...
Let's give them to North Korea, right? Since we can't reasonably and objectively say they're going to attack us, let's give nukes to North Korea. Let's just do it, right? Let's give them that. You know what they'll
This
fucking
is a straw
do.
man fallacy.
That's the point.
This is a straw man fallacy. So why has Benjamin Netanyahu been saying this for the last 35 plus years?
It's the point of it. They don't like us. And yes, it was the past, and we made a lot of fucking mistakes.
He's still not
America
answering the
did.
question. Why has Israel been claiming for the last 35 plus years that they were
I don't
2
know
weeks
what
away
the
from
fuck
developing?
Israel's been doing. I don't give a shit
Well,
about
that's
Israel.
the reason we're there, as you've already conceded. So can you tell me why Israel's
Yes.
been making the same claim for over 3.5 decades, but yet it wasn't
Well,
true
because
any of those times? By the way, I'll
that's
also
what
add
those
additionally,
people do.
I'll
That's
mute
what
you
they
the next
do.
time you interrupt me. So you gonna let me finish? Well, you might actually
Go
learn
ahead.
something if you shut the fuck up. You have to stop hanging around Trump supporters. I can tell you hang around a lot of Trump
Right. Or
supporters.
you
They're
should
also
quit hanging around the
they're
media.
also dumb as fuck, and so they think you're smart because they're also
Yeah.
stupid, right?
Yeah, and you read the media, so
can
you're
I finish?
so intelligent.
Yes, I definitely read the media. So can you shut up and let me finish? I would also add
Yeah, go
additionally,
ahead, Cocksucker.
on top of shut up. Additionally, on top of the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu has been making this same claim for 3.5 decades, he finally found a president gullible enough to do it, which is the entire point here. Benjamin Netanyahu also testified in front of Congress, right, that invading Iraq would be a positive benefit for the world, that it would destroy terrorism in the region.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
But
He's an idiot.
you already conceded he's one of the reasons we're there. So what do you think we're
That's right.
relying on? Israeli intelligence, the same intelligence that claimed that the war in Iraq would benefit the region, which it resulted in destabilizing the region, the same guy that made the claim that Iran was in possession of nuclear weapons for the last 35 years and they weren't. You're supporting a guy, right, who tore up a diplomatic agreement in the JCPOA, claimed he could negotiate a better agreement, opted for military action, failed during that operation, has not come out and clarified that he failed, but we bombed 3 sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, claimed we obliterated their nuclear technology. How can it be a primary objective months later if we obliterated their nuclear technology? It can't be.
All right. So now I'm gonna reply to that. So
Listen
the state
closely
of
to this
Israel-
profound reply, folks.
Yes. So the state of Israel, all that, we should have never held any fucking cards in that. None of that had shit to do with us. The fucking war in Iraq, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, all that shit, total bullshit. Totally and 100% vehemently agree with you. But I think, personally, another country having nuclear capabilities who hasn't signed the NATO contract is same with fucking Russia. You can argue the same thing. Should they have nukes? Fuck no. Because they hate everyone who's not them. And I think America is unfortunately trending in that position. It doesn't make me hate Trump. We're solely focused on this issue of
so profound.
This war, but it's just like, so how do you feel about
I figured you weren't going to say anything worth any value. I mean, this is the point.
No, well,
right?
I agreed with you. I agreed with you.
Right.
We
so
shouldn't have any leg in that race. But if a country hates us and they're screaming death to America in the streets, just like North Korea does,
then we should bomb
they
them.
shouldn't. No, I'm just saying we should
That's
wipe
what
out
we're
their
doing.
nuclear capabilities.
Well, we did that already. So why are we still? Why
Then
why
we
did we
should
do it
fucking
again?
leave.
Then why did we do it
Well,
again?
because the EEZ.
Huh?
That's why the what is it? The exclusionary ecological zone that countries can
fuck are
play.
you even talking about? If
That's
we
where-
obliterated their ability to develop this
Then
weaponry
we
and these
should be gone.
technologies, then
Then we should
why
be
the
gone.
fuck was it a primary objective months later? You still haven't answered the original.
But
this is the entire
that-
point.
that
You
part-
can pivot
that part is
around.
fucked up.
You can say a bunch. Well, that part is fucked up. You just said that's the entire point of the conversation. You guys,
Okay, well that's just
you guys
this-
are honestly
this
just
part.
not smart enough to even like have these conversations
Trump,
with.
You said Trump as a whole. So do you agree with his border policies or no?
This is a nice pivot, and there's no way I'm debating another topic with you after that conversation. There's no way.
Of course
no,
not,
I don't
'cause
agree
I
with his border
agreed with
policies.
you. 'Cause- Oh, so everyone should just come here.
Do you know what a straw man fallacy is? You keep straw manning my arguments. I said I don't agree with his border. Shut
what
up.
a dumbass fallacy is?
Listen, you're stupid, dude. You keep trying to straw man. Like, do you agree with his border policies? No, I don't. Oh, then you agree that we should just keep the border open? That's called a straw man fallacy. You should look it up. I know Trump supporters don't know what a straw man fallacy is because they're also stupid, but that's besides the point. You're dumb. Plain and simple.
Call from
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
You're going to have to turn your volume up.
Oh, can you hear me better now? Sorry.
What's going
I
on?
have my mic away from my face. Am I on the air right now or no?
No, we're testing to
Oh.
see what you're going to say before I transfer you through. So what do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I was listening in live, and I was calling about the current caller that he's talking with right now. Kind of
Yeah,
like
that
the
guy's
guy
an
from
idiot,
Texas.
but yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just like, I wanted to add something too, because he was talking about the missiles and stuff that Iran has, like, oh, they could get it from China and Russia. Well, did you not realize that the missiles that they do have can actually be launched at Israel? And that's the whole reason why we're in this war, because they're
Yeah,
doing
so
Israel's
I'll bring
bidding.
you on now.
So that's what I'm saying.
They
You know,
just,
like,
I think that
I
was
wanted
already,
to bring that.
I think that was already
like, topic
discussed
on
during the
that.
course of the conversation. But let me transfer you over to Adam.
All right.
Hey, what's going on? Are you a Republican?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. You gotta speak up louder.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I'm on the air now, or I'm with the screener?
Yeah. You are. What's up?
All right, yeah. So, like, there was one thing I wanted to add, like, with the previous caller that you were currently on right now. I was saying, like, nuclear weapons, like, they don't have the capabilities to launch a nuclear weapon. Iran doesn't. But what they do have, the weapons that they currently do have the ability to hit Israel. And so Israel, like how you have discussed, for the past 35 years has been saying they're a week away, a day away, a month away, a couple months away, whatever.
They
from
don't have
obtaining
nuclear
nuclear
weapons.
power.
Yeah,
I know, that's what I'm saying, but I'm going based off of what Netanyahu has said on C-SPAN. And
Yeah, that's not
for
what
the
he
past
said, though.
35 years.
That's not what he said.
But whatever.
What he said is they're 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. Nothing about having the capability. I mean, you wouldn't even need that. You could smuggle a nuclear weapon into Israel. That's not the conversation we're having. I don't want to go to war for Israel. I am opposed to fighting Israel's wars. In fact, I'm quite tired of it. Okay? And Americans are dying in this conflict, and American taxpayers here at home are paying for it, and it's not for their benefit. What'd you say?
No, I was saying that America, like, what is it, 13 already that have died already? So
Yeah,
like,
quite a few. I'd say it's pretty serious. And we've spent a lot of money, billions of dollars, right? So I don't
we're sending
want
billions of dollars to them yearly, just in aid.
I want to sever the relationship entirely. I'm completely done with them across the board.
Yeah, and Israel, they treat us like they treat American service members that were stationed over there during the 12 days of after Midnight Hammer, when Iran started sending missiles over. Those 12 days, I actually spoke to an American EOD officer, and he told me that when he was stationed there, the Israeli soldiers, because they're staying on their barracks, on their property, they're on their turf.
Mm-hmm.
So they're essentially supposed to be treated like guests, given food and, of course, quarters and everything. While they train the IDF soldiers to, use the anti-air missile defense systems that we give them. But they said that once we were pulling out of that area and we were going to stop giving them, missile aid and everything, they stopped giving them food. They stopped treating them with respect. If any American soldier was caught having food or stuff that was not kosher, or they bought stuff from any of the Muslim owned markets in the area, they gave them hell and shit about it. So
yeah,
these guys treat our own service members.
I don't know
like
where
shit.
you could show me where you read that, and I understand what you're saying. I've heard similar things, but you could show me where you. I don't know what specific story you're talking about. Gumball Dolphins, W Gumball in the chat for the $50 super chat. W Gumball, let's go. That's gonna trigger jealous maggots. So listen, here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing, though. You're it's a personal conversation. Okay, I was wondering.
It's a personal conversation from an officer who was over there.
So here's what I'd say. We're hearing
that
that the administration was upset that Israel overpromised and underdelivered, right? They were upset about how them overpromising how much they would contribute in terms of their military. Even when discussions were being had about boots on the ground, they came out, we're not putting boots on the ground. Right after we have a ceasefire, they launched the largest coordinated strike since the beginning of the war on Lebanon. Israel wants this war to continue, but it seems like you understand this is a problem. Why the fuck are you supporting Trump?
Well, that's the thing. I wanted to call in about that particular caller I was listening into, and how he was leaving a lot of shit out that I'm like, how this all points to Israel. I was a major Trump supporter. I voted for him 3 times, and I thought everything he was doing, like with economy-wise, and then with immigration, like I was all on for it. You know, the Doge and everything. But then it's like once we started seeing the war, which he started a war. That's it. Doesn't matter how you name it. He went over there and is bombing that place right now. Okay, not military installations, just everything. And he said he wasn't. That's a major act draft of what he did. He fucked that that promise over. So that's what I have my like some things I did support about him, but mainly for the main fact is that he started a war. He didn't do much with his immigration policy. The economy is in the shit and getting worse. The fuel is terrible.
No, I
mean,
get that you recognize all of it.
For trucking, I'm a truck driver right now. I'm a truck driver.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
Listen, here's the thing, dude. Here's what I'll leave you with. It's good that you're recognizing these things. It's good that you're recognizing these things because some of these chuds, I mean, like you saw the last guy, there's nothing I could tell that guy to convince him, right? Like I'm pointing these things out directly. Hey, this is the timeline of events. It's not possible to have a hostility defense. I had a caller before him, truly didn't understand how decentralized the IRGC is and how multi-layered their government is and why regime change is not possible and all these different aspects to the war that I don't think were largely considered before the invasion. Because I truly think being underqualified in terms of our intelligence agencies and Trump himself is a major part of why this has been such a mess. Really didn't consider, I don't know how familiar you are with the Mosaic Doctrine and how the structure of the regime and the IRGC in particular makes it incredibly difficult to conduct regime change. Are you familiar at all?
I've heard of it. I don't know the exact like layers of it, but I've heard it tossed around that name before. But I do know that it is essentially a religious government.
Yeah,
religious government.
Yes, it's a theocracy. So it's a theocratic Islamic republic. But the point is that it's built as an institutional survival system. It's not a one-man dictatorship. So conducting decapitation strikes the way that they were targeted is not a successful strategy in regime change. And I think that was the plan, but I don't think it worked. That's why they were trying to provoke the Persian people. They were trying to spark an uprising against the regime. But the Mosaic Doctrine makes that impossible because they have a decentralized command. They break up into 31 different groups over 31 different provinces. So the state and security forces can function even if the leaders are killed. So you can't accomplish regime change without boots on the ground. And you're talking about, when you consider the terrain and its location, you're talking about a bloodbath. You're talking about an absolute bloodbath. So, but the point is that removing one figure, or even removing three, similar in terms of guerrilla warfare, yes. But the point is removing
like Vietnam. You can't take out a single head. They're going to put up somebody else, and you're gonna, and especially if they're radicalized religiously, you know, they're going to die for their religion and for
another aspect
their leader,
to it.
whoever they put into
Their religious ideology.
And there was one thing I wanted to add too. If you could bring this up too, every time somebody calls in and says like, "Oh, well, you know, we have to support Israel." Did Israel send, during the global war on terror, did Israel send any form of fighting force, ground forces, to Iraq or Afghanistan? They didn't. We've had multiple NATO countries did. Germany, France, I think Belgium, England, New Zealand, I think. They all sent troops to Iraq and Afghanistan.
They provided support, but not combat support. They provided.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they provided.
We had soldiers who died. Yeah, they died. We had soldiers who died on the ground, got blown up. My cousin is a victim of that. He died. He killed himself via.
Well, don't say. Can't say that on here, but I get it.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
But he offed himself because of that war. But was he fighting next to IDF soldiers? Did the IDF send, 1,000, maybe a couple battalions of soldiers to go patrol in the mountains of Afghanistan or on the streets of Fallujah?
Listen, man, I don't know if you've ever
No,
watched
they
me
didn't.
before, but I talk about this stuff regularly, so I encourage you to keep listening, but you will see that their commitment to supporting Israel. I mean, I have Republicans that won't even say America first. They won't even say if you say America first or Israel first, they won't say America first. They'll say Israel then America or both. That's deeply troubling. And truly, regardless of anything else, I mean, and I could get into what they've done in Palestine, and that absolutely is the final straw for me. But I'm not going to continue to support American citizens dying in the Middle East for another country. That's over. I'm done with that. I'm done supporting that. I don't care where if this politician is a Democrat or Republican, if they support endless conflict in the Middle East for Israel, I'm not supporting it anymore. That's all there is to it. So thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Take care.
No problem. Take it easy.
All right, guys. I love watching Trump. It's Tony. Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate you. Gumball, thank you for the $50 super chat. Tony says, you see how dumb Trump supporters are in the chat? Yes, always on YouTube. Always on YouTube. And usually, I have to imagine it's little kids. I can't imagine it's a grown adult thinking that dude is like fucking eating. That old dude, like, that dude wasn't even, he was just pivoting around in straw man, and he wasn't even answering the question about the objectives. If you can't substantiate that Iran is an imminent threat to the United States, then this war is unjustified. I will also add, additionally, the Secretary of State has already clarified, contradicting the statements of the president, that Israel was planning an attack, and these were preemptive strikes to prevent Israel from attacking to prevent Iran from attacking U.S. military bases. If Israel is planning an action, and these are preemptive strikes to prevent a retaliatory strike by Iran, then Israel becomes the imminent threat. And if you don't understand that, it's because you're just not smart enough to have this conversation, which is the case for many people who still support Donald Trump. And that's just a fact. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Hope you had fun with the live today. I wasn't going to go live today. I'm glad I did. It was a lot of funny moments, a lot of good conversations, a lot of shitty conversations, but that tends to be the way it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Appreciate you. And I will see you probably tomorrow. Who here is from TikTok? Who here is from TikTok? If you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I would. Same name over there. I stream in the morning. Sunday morning is usually pretty spicy with MAGA. So vote. Let me read some comments here. I'm going to read some comments before I get off here. Vote for Draco says, bro, I swear Trumpers are so allergic to facts. It's wild. The amount of mental gymnastics that's needed to support these people have for him is wild. Vote for Draco. I know, dude. It is insane. It is baffling the lengths they will go to support this guy. And then at the end of it, claim that they have the moral high ground in any argument ever. Annette says, this is the truest live stream I've ever watched. Thank you so much, Annette. I appreciate you. Kathy says, thanks, Adam. Love you. Thank you. Love you too, Kathy. Appreciate you, Kathy. Gummo says, they get so mad after church. Yes, tomorrow's usually pretty spicy. This guy says, you're just not smart enough. You're right. You're just not smart enough. You spelled "you're" wrong, engineer. Can you imagine telling someone they're not smart and spelling "you're" wrong? Like, Jesus, stop embarrassing yourself. Just stop typing. All right? I've never agreed with someone more than I have with you. Thank you, and I appreciate you. He was supposed to be our greatest president. I mean, according to who? Not me, ever. We can have a conversation in the future, Benjamin. I'm done for the day, but you can always call in the future. He couldn't even name why we were there. No, they never can. I specifically talk about what the administration's objectives are, because you can't tell me there's some super secret objective to weaken our adversaries, because you're not privy to that intelligence. By the way, most of it involves regime change, which I've laid out in detail why it's impossible, which is why Donald Trump's declaring victory. Karen says we are driving and laughing at him. Thank you, Karen. Drive safe, Karen. All right, folks. I love you. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. Take care. Thank you to those that contributed to the gifting goal. Appreciate you. There's still a bunch of time left on the gifting goal, but it is what it is. Appreciate you guys. Love you. I will see you tomorrow on TikTok. We're not going to be on YouTube tomorrow morning. We're going to be on TikTok, and I don't think we're doing oh, wait a second. It might be the afternoon, folks. Don't count me 100% that TikTok will be in the morning. It might be in the afternoon. I just remembered. I have something to do tomorrow morning. So check it out. All right. Would appreciate it. Oh, God, Scott. Oh, God. Ugh. All right, folks.
You have no intelligence at all. Yeah. You are just a Democrat, and you're wrong.
All right, everybody. So it might be the afternoon. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, folks. See you tomorrow. Take care. Love you. Have a wonderful Saturday night. Watch a movie. Do something like that. Love you guys. Be well. Thanks for the laughs. No problem, Lauren. Be well, everybody.